Remembering Alexis, hundreds of friends and family gathered for a last goodbye to the murdered 16-year-old. Surprise snowstorm. Halloween looks a lot like Christmas for those in the Northeast. And tricks for treats. Some last-minute ideas to make your Halloween costume a hit. I'm Rachel Schwartz.
And I'm Angela Santos. It's Monday, October 31st, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
This weekend was bittersweet for those who buried 16-year-old Alexis Rasmussen. She went missing in September after a night of babysitting, and police identified her body on October 21st. 11 News reporter Julianne Horsley went to North Ogden, where many say an angel returned to her home above.
Alexis Rasmussen was no ordinary girl. While only a few knew Lexi, her smile and kindness reached across the hearts of many in the community.
I just hope that next spring the flowers come out and are as beautiful as her. I don't even know this gal, and she's touched my heart.
Hundreds of friends, loved ones, and strangers gathered at this North Ogden church to say their goodbyes to Alexis Rasmussen. She disappeared in September after a night of babysitting. Police identified that the remains they found a couple weeks ago in a shallow grave in Morgan County were hers. Many were shaken up and couldn't take in the shock of losing a relative and a close friend.
Devastated, lost. I couldn't believe it happened to somebody that I love so much.
Mourners laid colorful flowers above the grave and released balloons to remember Alexis's vivacious personality. Many say they were touched by a poem a close friend presented at the funeral because of its message that Alexis will always be in their hearts.
When you start thinking there's no one to love you, you can talk to me through the Lord above you. And the smile you see on my mother's face, just look for me, family and friends. I'm every place.
But they're not giving up hope. Many say they recognize Alexis is gone, but will continue to stay positive and wait to find out who took Lexi away too soon. Police have not identified any suspects, but named Eric and Dia Millerberg of North Ogden as persons of interest, both in the disappearance and death. Alexis was babysitting for the couple the night she went missing. Police are still investigating as they wait for the autopsy report. Rachel?
Thanks, Julianne. The secret's out, and BYU students can expect a special post-Halloween treat at tomorrow's devotional. LDS Church President Thomas S. Monson plans to address the audience at the Center at 11 o'clock. The combined BYU choirs will also sing at the devotional. Students plan to get there on time to make sure you get a seat. We have a feeling this one will get packed. A Centerville man is recovering in the hospital after police say his neighbor shot him. Witnesses say Tony Pierce was shot in the leg and back while doing yard work at his home. Police have arrested Mike Selenite on suspicion of attempted homicide and also say Selenite has a previous felony that prohibits him from owning a gun.
Police say 2 Utah State University students face misdemeanor charges after giving a 17-year-old alcohol at a fraternity party. Police say Casey Halfa and Hayden Albrandt gave the girls so much that later she went to the hospital with alcohol poisoning. USU says they've placed the Pi Kappa Alpha chapter on indefinite suspension following the incident. Utah police say they arrested 64 people this weekend after conducting a statewide DUI blitz. Police spokesman Dwayne Bayard says Halloween is one of the worst times for drunk driving and more than 100 troopers will patrol the roadways. Bayard says the extra officers plan to stay on duty tonight to protect kids and adults out trick-or-treating.
In case you didn't notice, today is Halloween, and for those of you who are haunted by the task of pulling together a quick costume idea, 11 News reporter Brianna Carr got the tricks of the trade for trick-or-treating this year.
That's right, I'm here at Halloween City where I've got all the goodies on what you could do for last-second Halloween shopping.
With everything from princesses to pirates, it's not easy choosing what to dress up as. And for you last-second shoppers, you've only got a few hours to figure out what or who to be for Halloween. Stocked with both silly and scary, Halloween City in Orem is one of many stores located in Utah Valley to help for the spooky holiday. They have no shortage of orange and black or advice on Halloween costume ideas.
Masks and wigs are always a really good idea. They're something that's quick and easy and can totally change your look without a lot of money or a lot of time. Most of the time people have, a black t-shirt and pair of pants that they can wear with a mask and it'll make a great outfit.
There are tons, there's always something black here. Robes, masks, hoods. There are always masks and machetes and weapons of all kinds still available. This year I would also say there's always blood, so come in and buy some.
This location is open until 7 tonight, so come on down and get your ghoul and gore on. From the Orem Halloween City, Brianna Carr, 11 News.
We better get a move on. Thanks, Brianna.
When 11 News at noon returns. Drive and jump. Find out why this high school parking lot was accidentally turned into a composting yard.
And fancy floats. If you thought making a Halloween costume took a lot of time, find out how long it takes to create detailed parade floats. Stay with us. The Northeast digs out from an early snowstorm. Wisconsin police say a drunken texter hit a police car. And sloppy proofreading means that a Colorado school's parking lot is filled with garbage. This is your look at news from across the nation. People all across the Northeast United States are still dealing with a surprise October snowstorm. In New Hampshire, the roads are now mostly clear, but homeowners are still digging out to prepare for trick-or-treaters tonight. Shovels and snowblowers got an early debut for the year as a weekend storm dumped as many as 22 inches of powder in the region. Driving drunk is enough to get you in trouble, but authorities say one Wisconsin man's list of offenses didn't stop there. He also hit a marked state patrolman's car while texting. Anna Carrera has the story. Here's a in Colorado. It's a Denver high school parking lot. What's with all the greenery? The city made a proofreading mistake in a leaflet and advertised this lot as a place where people could dump yard waste. So they did. Limbs, clippings, shrubbery, and all. The city hasn't yet decided what they're going to do about the mess. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Angela?
Thanks, Rachel. An iconic BYU sculpture is no longer part of our campus. Crews took down the tree of wisdom from in front of the McKay building over the weekend. It had been on campus since the late 1970s, originally placed at the Lee Library as part of the university's centennial celebration. No word as to why the university chose to take out the sculpture. People line the streets for parades but never stop to think about all the work that goes into creating the floats. 11 News reporter Sarah Turini gives us an inside look at how people make all that eye candy.
Bundles of ribbon, plenty of pliers, and paint. These nursing students are ready to march the street with their homecoming float.
We like to be in the parade. It's just something fun to do that helps us show our school spirit.
And that's the driving force during the long hours they spent preparing for the big day. Lifting heavy hay bales and making signs wasn't the hardest part. Students say that picking out a theme for the float was especially difficult.
Our theme is Hold High the Torch of Good Health, and so we're going to be passing out little heart-healthy tips on papers, and we're going to be dressed up in our scrubs.
Even with hundreds of helping hands, these detailed floats take hours to create. And now the parade itself is just hours away. The amount of work left to do is raising a lot of people's blood pressure.
Ready, go!
The parade starts at the Marriott Center and goes all across campus.
And it ends right here, just down the street from the Lavelle Edwards Stadium.
But for now, the parade is the main attraction. Nursing students, dancers, and of course the Cougar cheerleaders. We're pumping up the crowd along the parade route. No matter what your age, the BYU Homecoming Parade is a tradition for all. Even this fan who came all the way from South America. All the hours that went into creating the float seemed to pay off in the end. And everyone celebrated with a sweet little treat.
We come every year and we meet all of our extended family here and all the cousins get together and we call it the Candy Parade because the kids get bags and bags full of candy and they love it.
And when it's all said and done, the parade becomes yet again a magical part of the BYU homecoming tradition. In Provo, Sarah Turini, 11 News.
The nursing students say they spent between $300 and $400 plus countless hours on their float and that all their hard work paid off in the end.
When 11 News at Noon returns, Monster Marathon. This costume race has everything from cute to fierce, racing for first place.
Zombie apocalypse. Oregon's got a craving for brains.
And, well, our pleasant stretch of weather is over. I'll tell you when you can expect snow this week. Your 11.
So guys, in my hometown in Connecticut, they had to cancel Halloween because of all the snow.
That's so sad. We're not getting any snow tonight for Halloween, right?
Well, first of all, I just want to say happy Halloween out there. We're at the end of October, and with the turn of the month, a new weather pattern is coming. And I can just tell you that there is not going to be any snow, and today we are having such a nice sunny day for our holiday. Looking outside right now, one of the beautiful days, the last days of the season with those great blue skies, we still have those fall colors to enjoy, and it's just the sun is shining down on us. Currently outside it is 45 degrees with 66% humidity and calm wind speed, so it is really nice, and it is going to heat up even more to 67, so almost hitting that 70. We'll have great weather for a holiday. I know I'm excited. And for those trick-or-treaters out there, just make sure you bundle up because it is going to be 39 degrees tonight. There is a 20% chance of rain. Again, just make sure you bundle up because it is going to be very chilly. That sunset is coming in at 6:25. And note to self, the end of daylight savings time is this weekend. And across our United States, we see just a little storm coming over our northwestern part of our country, and it isn't hitting us because we're still living in that high pressure system, and it's not going to affect us for today. It will affect us tomorrow. So our Utah highs for today are nice, and they're 60s and 70s, 61 in Logan, 66 in Provo, and St. George. They're always hitting that 80, and now they're at 77. For their 5-day forecast for the rest of the week. Today is going to be nice with a nice 77, and then Tuesday 70, and at night it is going to be a little bit chillier, and there's going to be breezy. It's going to be very breezy. And Wednesday and Thursday it is going to be nice, clearing right up for a couple days, and then Friday there is a 60% chance of thunderstorm, so make sure you get ready for that. And hopefully by the end of the week that percentage will go down. For the Wasatch Front, we're looking at today being a great day, and here comes the bad news that snow is coming in tomorrow. There is an 80% chance that it will snow, so make sure you have your boots and your jacket and your gloves because it's that time of year. Then it is going to clear up for Wednesday and Thursday, a couple clouds here and there, and then Friday again we're seeing that snow, 45% chance of snow on Friday. So guys, make sure you get ready for tomorrow at least. It looks like it's going to snow both tomorrow and Friday, but at least the weather's giving us a few respites here and there throughout the week. And again, just be careful tonight as you go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, good to hear there'll be nice weather for trick-or-treaters tonight.
Yes.
For sure. Thanks, Sarah. So, kind of a heartbreaker this weekend, Brian, for BYU. Wasn't exactly fun to watch.
Yeah, I know. I don't know about BYU, but TCU definitely came out to the field dressed as football players this weekend.
Yeah, I really don't want to be reminded about any of that because it was a pretty bad weekend for me and all my sports teams. Talk about horror. Right on time for Halloween, I'll have all the highlights, well, if you can call them that, from the BYU TCU game. And if that isn't scary enough for you, you'll definitely want to check out this terrifying trot coming up next. The last time the Cougars played in Cowboys Stadium, they upset a highly ranked Oklahoma team in what many consider a miracle. But this time around, against a mediocre TCU team, things didn't quite go their way. And it wasn't even Riley Nelson's fault. Already down 35-13 thanks to numerous special teams gaffes until J.D. Falseth earns back just a little respect here with a 67-yard punt return. First one for the Cougars since McKay Jacobson back in 2006. Cougars turning it into a game again. But it would prove to be too little, too late. Only consolation for the Cougars is the ref was nice enough here to give Riley Nelson a high five. Or was it the other way around? Definitely worth another look here. If you ask me, he definitely has his hand up going for the high five. Either way, Cougars still lose 38-28. Fortunately for Cougar fans, this weekend also marked the beginning of action for the men's basketball team. And unlike Broncos boys, they wouldn't disappoint. Only preseason, but the Cougars still just as pumped. And no, it isn't Jimmer, but at least it's a familiar face. Charles Abuo with a relatively short three. He finished with 14 points. Then it was Brandon Davies' turn to impress. Spin move to the basket that looks more like a little ray of hope. Davies with a double-double, 10 points and 10 boards. Then a baby-faced Anson Winder with a little shimmy shake of his own. Cougars win easily, 91-74. Who says Halloween is only fun for kids? Thousands of adults don their creative costumes to run a 13-mile Halloween party. 11 Sports reporter Brooke Davis was there to catch one of the most entertaining races in the state.
Mickey and Minnie, a devil, a pirate. These were just some of the costumes of the 4,000 people who ran Saturday's Halloween half marathon. Although it was a chilly morning, the racetrack took runners through some of the most beautiful scenery in Utah.
It was pretty. It was neat coming out of the mountain in the shade and seeing the sun. It was one of my favorite runs.
Onlookers weren't just there to see the scenery, though. Thousands of people lined the trail to see the decked-out runners. Some of the racers stood out from among the rest.
They thought the king was dead, baby. You know, but he's alive and well, running in Provo.
Got a lot of snickers as I ran past people. My bum bounces quite a bit.
I liked the Oompa Loompas, there were some of those, and I saw some people with Elmer's glue costumes with like cones on their head, and I thought that was pretty clever.
The Halloween half is one of a kind.
The racers here have just completed the largest half marathon in the state of Utah, and this is the biggest turnout they've ever had. They started up in Aspen Grove, ran through Provo Canyon, and ended here in North Provo. Along the way, they lost 2,000 feet of elevation.
I finished. I did good.
This is my life, baby. This is what I live.
In Provo, Brooke Davis, 11 News.
The winner finished the race in 1 hour and 7 minutes. If you missed the race this Halloween, make sure to catch all the crazy costumes in action next year.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't think I could run even close to a half marathon.
And let alone in a costume?
Yeah.
That much harder.
If they want to do it, more power to them.
Still to come on 11 News at noon. Brain drains. These zombies walk the streets searching for an All Hallows Eve snack. We'll be right back.
Seeing people march for a cause is not out of the ordinary, but what if they're marching for zombie rights? Torn clothes, pale faces, and blood, the zombies take over the streets. This may seem scary, but it was all part of Portland's annual Zombie Walk. The Zombie Walk started a few years ago as a flash mob, but now has become a publicized event. All zombies, young and old, are welcome to participate.
I can't even, that's just... Wow.
Yeah, you know, we've had this like vampire obsession, and now I guess the zombies are moving in.
Yeah, I don't know what the thing is with zombies, but
Yeah, as long as they're not after my brains, that's really all I'm worried about.
Sounds kind of funny as a flash mob, honestly, walking down the street, and then all of a sudden all these zombies come out.
Looks like the scene from Thriller. It looks like fun though.
Yeah.
That's your 11 News at noon for Monday, October 31st.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great Halloween.